Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It is Christine with gaugegirltraining, an online meal planning and coaching service. In today's video, we're going to answer the questions, do you really need lab tests? The truth no one talks about when it comes to your hormones. So this video is dedicated to my ladies over 35 years old who are tired, you're fatigued, you're moody, you're having a hard time losing weight, you go to the doctor, you get lab tests done, and your doctor says you're normal. You have no issues. Deep down in your bones and your intuition, you know that you feel anything but normal. So what gives? Are hormone lab tests really worth it, or are they just expensive snapshots in time that is missing the bigger picture? My name is Christine Haranek, and today I'm breaking down the real deal when hormone labs are helpful, when they're misleading, and what your symptoms are actually trying to tell you. So if you've ever felt like no one is listening to you because your numbers check out, this video is to validate every single thing that you are feeling. So there is a problem if you rely on lab testing alone to get to the root cause of your health issue. So lab tests are tools, but they're not perfect. And most women are tested with general labs. Things like TSH, estradiol, maybe even total testosterone, right? If you fall into the normal range with these specific lab tests, you're dismissed. And the thing is, normal does not equal optimal. And you could be in the normal range for many factors and still feel absolutely miserable. So that's because the hormone labs are just a snapshot and they are not the full story. Now, all this to say, I'm not saying labs are bad and that they need to be dismissed. There are times that labs are crucial. Specifically, if you suspect thyroid dysfunction, meaning you're gaining weight, you have cold hands and feet, you're depressed, your hair is thinning, this is when you absolutely positively want a full thyroid panel. This is essential. So what that means is you want to look at your TSH, your free T3, your free T4, reverse T3, as well as any TPO antibodies. Now, for your TSH, this is your thyroid stimulating hormone, 0.5 to 2.5 is optimal. Even if your doctor says 4.5 is fine, the optimal range is 0.5 to 2.5, which is within what they would consider the normal range. The second time you want to absolutely use labs is when you suspect PCOS, which stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. If your periods are irregular, if you're breaking out, if you're growing facial hair, you might have PCOS, even if you don't have ovarian cysts. So under this circumstance, you want to look at your LH to FSH ratio, your free and total testosterone, DHEAS, as well as fasting insulin. PCOS will often present itself with a high LH to FHH ratio, high androgens plus insulin resistance. The next time you absolutely positively want lab tests is amenorrhea. If your periods go missing, get lab testing. Specifically, test FSH, LH, estradiol, as well as prolactin and TSH. If you are experiencing low FSH and estradiol, you may be hypothalamic, and a high FSH is going to indicate ovarian failure. So look at these specific things in the situation. The next is if you are monitoring your perimenopause transition. So if you're on hormones or you're over 40 with major shifts in your mood, your cycles, labs can confirm what phase you're in, as well as how your body's responding. The fifth situation is chronic burnout and adrenal fatigue suspect. This is when you want a full Dutch test as well as the 4-point saliva method for cortisol. Taking a 1-point cortisol test is not going to tell you anything because your cortisol follows a curve-like pattern throughout the day. You need 4 tests of your saliva at different time points to truly indicate if there is an issue in that area. If you have a flat or reversed cortisol curve, that is going to explain your wired and tired patterns. The next one you absolutely want is confirming a testosterone imbalance in libido and weight issues. So your total testosterone may be normal, but your free testosterone as well as your SHBG can tell a completely different story. So you want to look at these other factors. Now, when are labs misleading or unnecessary. The first time labs are meaningless or unnecessary is if you test on the wrong cycle day. I see this happen all the time. If you are testing your estradiol to progesterone ratio to confirm estrogen dominance, this has to be done on days 19 through 21 of your cycle. If you are getting the estrogen and progesterone looked at any point outside of that window, it is completely useless, meaningless, and they are just wasting your money, unfortunately. The second situation is if you are looking for estrogen dominance without a ratio. Your doctor can say, hey, your estrogen's normal, you don't have anything wrong with you. Estrogen dominance, a hormone imbalance responsible for stubborn lower hormonal belly weight gain, is not about the absolute number of estrogen. You could have normal estrogen and very low progesterone. You can have high estrogen and moderate progesterone, or you can even have very, very low estrogen, like in menopause, and your progesterone is still lower relative to that. The third time is cortisol blood tests. They are worthless for rhythm. It's going to surge, so you absolutely need a 4-point saliva test or urine to understand your daily stress curve. It's about the curve, not about the total. If you are on HRT or hormonal birth control, your symptoms and timing are going to tell you more than the numbers because your labs are going to be significantly altered by the synthetic hormones. And last but not least, if you are on an extreme caloric restriction or you are overtraining, low hormone output due to stress is not the same as a disease. Your body may be conserving energy, showing lower hormonal output, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have a hormone imbalance. So what should you do instead? I have the philosophy now, this is a new philosophy of mine, that you should always track before you test. This is where you take your power back without a lab in sight. You want to start tracking your cycle, everything from mood, energy, appetite, sleep, symptom logging. You want to log your PMS, your cravings, your sleep patterns, weight changes, stress inventory. High cortisol can mimic 5+ hormonal issues. A nutrition audit specifically for inflammation, fiber, fats, blood sugar, and they're all hormonal messengers. So if you want my free hormone tracker in terms of the symptoms you should be tracking, I want you guys to book a complimentary discovery call with me today. For this free call, I can review any of your labs. I will provide you for free my hormone tracker spreadsheet. We can talk about what approaches are going to make the most sense for you, how to read between the lines of your labs. I have limited spots available for these complimentary calls. During this call, I will help you figure out what would be the best approach for you to move forward with your health, including recommendations of which of my programs would be most appropriate for you. Thank you guys for watching. Comment all the questions below. This will be the beginning of a brand new series called Hormones 101, where I will get into the nitty-gritty and telling you everything that no one else is sharing on the internet today. Take care, and thank you for watching.